Afternoon everyone, here's the latest video update on the tropical cyclone out here in the western Pacific. It has been upgraded to a tropical storm early this morning with an international name of Sonamu. The system is now moving away from Palawan, away from the Philippines. It's now crossing the South China Sea or the West Philippine Sea. It was lasting approximately 500 kilometers southwest of Puerto Princesa City in Palawan, or about 900 kilometers east-southeast of Ho Chi Minh City in southern Vietnam. Maximum sustained winds have intensified to 75 kilometers per hour with gusts of up to 110 kilometers per hour according to JMA's latest analysis. The system has also slowed down considerably, moving westward still, but the forward speed has decreased now to 20 kilometers per hour. Now looking at the latest visible satellite image, you can see that blob of circulation associated with Sonamu or Bagyong Auring now moving away from the Philippine area of responsibility. It crossed the southern tip of Palawan early this morning around 4 a.m., bringing heavy rains in the municipalities and towns here. Also Puerto Princesa, which is a few dozen kilometers north of the landfall point, also received up to 130 millimeters over the past 12 hours. So again, very heavy rainfall. Fortunately, that is now moving away from the country. You can see here much of the clouds associated with this system is now over the South China Sea. And looking at the infrared image, we are seeing an increase in convective activity, again leading to JMA increasing the winds slightly to 75 kilometers per hour. And the system is actually looking much better overall compared to 24 hours ago. There is still some southeasterly wind shear you can see, and impinging on the southeastern quadrant of the storm. Much of the circulation center is actually located over here. Much of the convection is located northwest of the circulation. So again, still seeing some shear, but nevertheless, the system is continuing to intensify out here. Waters are definitely warm enough for development, and we are still forecasting a little bit more intensification before it levels off and starts to weaken, perhaps by Sunday and into Monday, not impacting Vietnam as of right now just yet, but as it moves closer to the country, perhaps Ho Chi Minh and parts of the southern tip of the country could expect some rain showers over the next 2 to 3 days there. Now, in terms of the impacts out here in the Philippines, you've mentioned the ferry that ran aground out here in Dipolog City, Dumaguete. Coming from Zamboanga into Dumaguete port. Aside from that, nothing really major and nothing really serious in terms of any injuries or damages out here. Minor flooding as well. And looking at the rainfall reports, you can see some very heavy rainfall being brought by this system across the central and southern Philippines, particularly out here in northern Mindanao. Parts of Visayas also got in some very heavy rainfall over the past 2 days, including eastern Samar, where Catbalogan actually recorded more than 150 millimeters. Dipolog right around 100 millimeters, as well as Dumaguete and also southern tip of Palawan. Again, I told you about Puerto Princesa receiving up to 130 millimeters. Also some rain showers impacting Bicol region and also southern Luzon, including Quezon province, Infanta and Tayabas cities, recording up to 50 to even 80 millimeters in the past 24 hours there. So still some rain showers lingering in this region, but not as heavy and definitely not as widespread. Looking at the latest radar images from Climate XPH, you can see still have those sporadic and scattered thunderstorms out here in Visayas, impacting southern Cebu and also parts of Negros Island. Also some isolated thunderstorms being reported out here in the eastern parts of Visayas in Leyte and Samar. Finally, looking at the Hinatuan radar, you can see some rain showers also impacting northern and central Mindanao, and you also have the rain showers associated with the intertropical convergence zone lingering just east of Mindanao. So still some light rain showers should be expected in these regions. Now, as for Sonamu, looking at the latest forecast tracks from the weather agencies, beginning with the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, expecting the system to continue moving generally westward, not going to make landfall in Vietnam, although might move close enough that it could bring some light to moderate rain showers, especially out here in southern tip, including perhaps the city of Ho Chi Minh as we move into Sunday and Monday. Again, JTWC also expecting this to intensify a little bit more, perhaps to 85 kilometers per hour before beginning to weaken as it moves westward into the South China Sea. Cooler waters out here actually, and a slightly stronger wind shear should help weaken the system perhaps into a tropical depression before moving into the Malay Peninsula by the middle part of next week. Finally, we have the Japan Meteorological Agency's forecast, almost similar with the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, although slightly further south compared to JTWC's forecast, but overall similar forecast philosophy here, similar scenario being shown by JMA, expecting the system to remain a weak tropical storm over the next 2 to 3 days and then perhaps beginning to weaken before nearing the Malay Peninsula. And before we leave you today, just a quick update on the intertropical convergence zone out here in the tropics. Still seeing that moisture running along the tropics here just east of Mindanao, extending southeastward into Palau and parts of western Micronesia. We have seen or observed a pretty weak low-level circulation center out here, well south of Guam. It's still not expected to really intensify in the coming days. Computer models are hinting of that possibility, but as of right now, the chances are still pretty slim. But nevertheless, see this moisture here running up, continue to move westward, perhaps impact parts of Mindanao and eastern Visayas over the next 3 to 5 days. But in terms of the coverage and intensity, rainfall amount should generally be lighter, I should say, and the areas impacted should be much less compared to what we've seen over the past 2 days. In terms of that rainfall forecast, you're looking at the latest GFS rainfall, 48-hour rainfall. You can see only lighter blue shadings across the archipelago, meaning around 50 millimeters of rainfall. So definitely less compared to what we've seen over the past few days. You can see this line of heavy rainfall associated with the intertropical convergence zone. Not expected to impact Mindanao just yet, but could start to push westward as we move into, say, Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. You can also see that heavy rainfall associated with Sonamu. Again, perhaps light to moderate rain in store for parts of southern tip of Vietnam over the next 2 to 3 days out here. And that concludes our video update on this Friday afternoon. Continue to check out these links to continue to give out on our description page below, and also Climate X for the latest radar images and rainfall forecast for your particular area out there in the Philippines. Stay safe, guys.